Hey guys, Dr. Pete here, paddleandpole.com. We are in the Madfish Garage, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a quick look, doing a quick walkthrough of the kayak cart, or kayak dolly made by Swiss Cargo Sports. You know, a lot of us, when we're launching at certain launch sites, we can't get right to the water, so we either have to carry our kayaks across the sand or bring them across the parking lot. So kayak dollies are a great way to do that if you only have one person. So we'll take a look at this, give it a quick overview, show it how it works, and then let you decide for yourself if one of these is appropriate for you. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so out of the box, here's what this cart looks like. There's relatively few parts that you have to assemble in order to use this cart. The main framework of the cart comes pre-assembled from the factory. You'll find that there are 2 tires, 2 outer hub bushings, 2 linchpins that allow for easy removal of the tires, and 2 straps. The way that the axles of the cart work is pretty simple. There's an inner and outer hub bushing that the wheels of the cart roll on or rub on when the cart wheel turns. The inner bushing you'll find is permanently affixed to the axle, and the outer bushing is held in place with a linchpin once the tire is put on. The actual process of attaching the tire on the cart is really simple. Start by removing the linchpin and the outer hub bushing. Then slide the tire on the axle. Once the tire's on, put the outer hub bushing on the axle and line up the holes in the bushing with the pre-drilled holes at the end of the axle. Slide the linchpin through the holes to lock the hub bushing in place, and then flip that little circular portion of the linchpin down to lock it in place. Keep the pin from moving. So you can simply reverse the process to remove the tire if you need to. Repeat the process on the other side and you're done. It's as simple as that, and your cart's ready to use. Now, we've used this cart a lot over the last year and a half. I've been really happy with the performance of it. We actually have 3 of these now. On hard surfaces, our kayaks, my big 12-foot roto-molded kayak, I can load up all my gear and equipment into it, the cameras, and rolls really well over hard surfaces. If we're launching out of St. Joe, Michigan here, we have to go down a walkway by the North Pier. Once we get to the soft sand in here in Michigan, the cart is a little bit harder to pull across the soft sand with the smaller tires. It still gets the job done, but we do find it much easier if we have 2 people to row the kayaks across the beach. It's definitely a heck of a lot easier than carrying them across the beach. It's a lot cheaper than buying the really expensive kayak carts with the big beach tires. I only use beach launches about 20% of the time, so it's not something that I need all the time. We also use this down in Florida, and on the hard packed sand in Florida, the beaches are, that sand packs much harder down there. One person actually could pull it quite easy on the hard packed sand. On the softer sand, we'd still use 2 people just to make life a little bit easier when you're done, especially at the end of a long day. Now, the one recommendation I will make is if you are pulling it across the sand, especially by yourself, there is some force on those tires, and the cart will want to twist underneath your kayak. So what we do is, instead of just running the strap around the kayak and around a portion of the cart, we actually tie our strap in 2 places at each end of the cart. So that way, once you wrap it around your kayak, it locks your kayak in place under the cart. And it's a very simple little tip, but it's really worked well for us. So it's something you might want to consider. One other consideration is the fact that flatter kayaks sit really well on this cart. If you get a kayak with more of a V in it, it doesn't have room for a deep V kayak on it, so your V kayak will tend to lean to one side or another. Not a big issue if you're not loading up gear into your kayak to carry it down to the beach with you. If you need to remedy that situation, we've piled up some foam noodles on both sides and taped them down, or used some big zip ties, and that seemed to keep the kayak from rocking. But normally we just don't use it. I hope you like this review and video. I hope it helps you make the decision whether or not this product's right for you. Please have a look around at some of our other videos, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hey, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, could you please help us out and hit the subscribe button